Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alec Reed. This is my channel, Alec Reed, and today we're reading Marriage, a Heartstopper fanfiction by heartstopper_fan22 on Wattpad. And once again, I would like to remind you, I have a Spotify page where I post all this stuff and some sprinkled in spicier content coming soon because I'm on a family trip when you're listening to this, and that would be weird. Anyway, yeah, so like, subscribe, and leave a comment for recommendations here or on Spotify. And you can also just say hello. I would love to talk to y'all. Also, I have a work email, so you guys can email me now. It's Reeds, spelled REEDS, and then Alec at gmail.com. And also, people have been saying my name wrong. It's Alec, not Alex. Yeah. I met one of you. It was weird, but I enjoyed it. I love seeing you. Anyway, yeah. Let's jump right into the video. Hope you enjoy. Chapter 39, Flashback, Part 7. I woke up in Nick's arms. We didn't get sleepovers often, so when we did, we made sure we made up for lost time. Last night was definitely enjoyable. I see Nick peering down at me and running his hands through my messy hair. I smile up at him and say, "Oh my god, last night was amazing." He replies, "It was exceptional." And guess what? David went back to college this morning, so we don't have to deal with him. I try to hide my excitement and relief because I don't want Nick to think I hate him now or that I don't want to come over to his house when David is here anymore. "Oh, that's good, but I was fine if he was here." Nick smiles and says, "Well, I wasn't. He can't do that. I'm happy he's gone." I snuggle up to Nick and rest my head on his beating chest. Nick's mom calls from downstairs. "Boys, breakfast." I feel panic come over my entire body and then say, "Nick, actually, I have to go home early." He grabs my hand as I try and get up. "Charlie, you can of course go home if you don't feel comfortable eating here, but you can't tell your mom you ate here. I can't let you do that to yourself." Why did everyone think I can't make my own decisions? "Well, are you gonna ask my mom about it?" I say. He looks at me. "Charlie, I'm not going to ask your mom about it because I know she would be angry with you. But it will hurt my heart if you don't eat something. You're causing pain to yourself, and it hurts me knowing that, because I love you." I know he was trying to look out for me, but I was scared. What happens if Miss Nelson talks to my mom and serves me a ton of breakfast, and I start crying in front of her? I would be so embarrassed I might never show my face here again. He grabs my shoulders. "Charlie, my mom won't force you to eat what you don't want. She's not like your mom. I promise." This reassured me a bit. I knew his mom wasn't like that, but the thought still lingered. I replied, "Okay, I'll stay, and I love you too." He holds my hand as we walk downstairs. When we get to the kitchen, I try and let go of his hand because his mom was standing right there. We never really show affection in front of her or my parents. It felt awkward, and especially since Miss Nelson wasn't married to anybody. We didn't want her to feel like the third wheel or uncomfortable. Nick firmly held my hand, not letting go. I can't help but blush as I see his mom look at our hands now with a big smile painted across her face. She was so supportive of Nick and I. Nick's mom hands me a plate and says, "Help yourself, darling." I smile as I realize for the first time in a month I got to serve my own food. I didn't know how much to put because I was scared of getting yelled at or not taking enough, but I knew Miss Nelson would never do that. I take a small pancake and a piece of bacon. Nick came up behind me as I was walking towards the table and pinches my ass and smiles. I frantically look around to make sure his mom didn't see that. Luckily, she's too busy cooking more pancakes. I whispered, God, your mom is right there. He smirks and says, I made sure she wasn't looking. Don't blame me, you're too cute to resist. Plus, ever since last night, I feel like I can't keep my hands off you. I blush and say, maybe we'll just have to have more sleepovers then. He looked like he was practically drooling. We might just have to lie to your mom more often then. I smile and say, your mom's coming, don't say anything weird. He then says loud enough for his mom to hear, Oi, mate, you excited for the rugby match with the lads later this Thursday? I practically gagged as the word mate and lad came out of his mouth and shoved my elbow into his side and say quietly, not what I meant. He looks serious, then turns to me, then at my plate and mouths, I'm proud of you. I smile and mouth, I love you, back to him. I left Nick's house after cuddling with him more after breakfast. He wasn't kidding, he really couldn't keep his hands off me. When I told Nick I had to leave, he acted like a toddler, begging me not to go. As much as it was tempting to stay with him, I didn't have much time left to go get Nick a promise ring, so I needed to go and get one today. I left his house and set off for the bus stop where I met with Elle and Aled. They were going to help me choose one. Plus, Elle also had her eye out for her own. She liked the idea and thought Tao might like the same thing, but she wasn't sure because Tao was pretty unpredictable sometimes. After spending 2 hours looking, I found the perfect one. It was black and looked clean. The jeweler even engraved our initials on the inside of our matching rings. It was adorable, and I couldn't wait to give it to Nick. Chapter 40, Flashback, Part 8. I woke up this morning to Oliver jumping on me saying, Nick is here, Nick is here. I jerked up asking Oliver, what? He says, yeah, and he brought Nellie. Fuck, I knew I was forgetting something. I promised to go on a walk with him and Nellie today. I say, Oliver, can you stall Nick for me? This was a mistake. He goes downstairs and says to Nick, Charlie told me I need to stall you, but I don't know what that means, so can you tell him I stalled you, so I can go play with dinosaurs now? Nick laughs and says, sure buddy, I'll make sure to tell him. I hear footsteps up the stairs. I just assumed it was Oliver coming to tell me what happened, but Nick opened the door, leaning on the doorframe. I came up to tell you Oliver did a great job stalling me. I blurted out, fucking snitch. I realized that I was shirtless, and yesterday I got some text from Ben, so my wrists were still beaming red. I scrambled to my closet, trying to quickly hide what I had done with a long-sleeve top. What's the rush, Char? I'm enjoying the view, he states. I respond, extremely cold, and I want to go for a walk with you before my mom gets back from the book club, so she doesn't tie me down with more of her eating rules. He smiles. Sounds good, babe. As he comes up behind me and kisses my neck. We just started calling each other babe not too long ago, so I still felt butterflies every time he called me that. My sweater was on, and I managed to hide my imperfections. I wasn't going to tell him about it today, because today was going to be special. He kissed me and fluffs my hair as we go on our walk. I love spending time with him, and him being away is going to be super hard. No more morning walks, no more coming over after school. Everything was going to change, and it terrified me, because Nick was the only person I was still holding on at this point. We finished our walk, about to arrive at his house. He then says, so what do you want to do now? We have a whole day to ourselves. I needed to come up with an excuse because Elle and Tao were coming over to help me set up a surprise for Nick later today. I kiss him on the lips and respond, babe, I'm so sorry, but I got called into work on a last-minute shift, and I'm trying with the saying no, so I tried, and I said yes. The disappointment on Nick's face was very visible, but I could tell he was very upset. Charlie, we don't have much time left before I leave. I want to soak up as much Charlie as I can get, but I understand, and I don't want to be the reason you lose your job. I smile at how cute he was, and that somebody really wanted to spend time with me. Me, of all people. He then says, I could meet you at work on your lunch break, and we could have lunch together. He explained excitedly, and I blurt out, No! I meant to say my boss hates it when we do that. Sorry, but I really have to go get ready for work now. I'll text you if I can hang out later. His face brightens a little at the thought of us hanging out later. We say I love you, and I race home, knowing Tao and Elle were waiting for me. I huff and puff as I reach my front door. I saw Tao and Elle sitting on the ground on my front porch. Of course, Elle is cuddled up on Tao's lap. They were adorable. Tao looks at me with his unimpressed expression and says, Did you fall asleep on your way here? Or are you that clingy you can't just say bye to Nick without making out first? I scoff and mock his usual line. Rude. Elle laughs and says, That was the perfect impression of Tao. Now, where's my hug? I open my arms for Elle, and she gives me a long hug. One amazing thing about being gay is nobody gets mad at you for passionately hugging girls. I love Elle. She believes she is my soulmate, just not in a romantic way. Nick fills that spot. I usher them inside, and they make themselves at home, like they always did. We've been friends for so long that this was normal, and I loved it. They eat some snacks, and then I grabbed the picnic supplies from my garage. I made and brought all Nick's favorites. It was going to be perfect. I could tell Elle was trying to get Tao's opinion on the whole promise ring thing, because she really wanted to do it too, but Tao is oblivious and noticed nothing. So I was trying my best to help her out. Tao, do you think it's weird that I'm doing this, or do you think it's cute and thoughtful? He just continues to munch on chips and replies, I don't know, while shrugging his shoulders. God, he was useless. I then say, trying to act dramatic, Tao, you're my best friend and I'm really scared, and don't know if I should go through with this, so please tell me your honest opinion. He looks at me and pats my back. Sorry, Charlie. I didn't think you were this nervous. I would be extremely happy if someone put all this time and effort you put in for Nick. Trust me, Charlie, he's going to love it. I think this is an amazing idea. I turn and wink at Elle. She mouths, Thank you, in return. Alright, and that is the end of today's episode. Next time we are reading chapter 41, Flashback Part 9, which is officially when they give the ring to Nick, as you can probably tell. But anyway, please come back again. Once again, I do want to remind you, I have a page on Spotify now. It has all of these videos, plus some spicy content sprinkled in here and there, for my viewers who like spicier content. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Good morning, good night, or good afternoon. Goodbye, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. And goodbye, friends.